Okay.
Remember the name in although one ball less.
Yeah.
Tim David. 17 needed of the last over. In the 1000th game of the IPL, you wanted a thriller. You kind of got it. Because Tim David killed the contest off with 3 sixes of Jason Holder.
I think there was someone in the comments that said it's going to be a Tim David show.
Yes.
Yes. It was, I think, the one part was that Rohit 75 and Tim David on show. Well, Rohit fell 72 runs short, which will be one major talking point, by the way. But Tim David, man, I mean, what can we say? This is why Mumbai Indians paid him big bucks.
Although rather puzzlingly, I remember first half of last season, he didn't get a single game because for whatever reason they were trying to get whatever little mileage they could out of a clearly over the hill Kieron Pollard.
Yep.
And he was having to sit out. When he came in, he won them a couple of games, and now at this point you have to be thinking, how is this guy? He has to be a sure shot starter every single game. It doesn't matter what form he's in, this, that. He's a certified match winner.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, look at the clean hitting. 32 needed of 12, by the way. 32 needed of 12. And Sandeep Sharma bowled decently. I mean, 15 runs he gave away in the 19th over.
Yeah, I'm sorry, if the guy bowling the last over has 17 runs to play with, you would back the guy, defending to at least take it to the second last or last ball. This match was over in 3 deliveries.
Yes, 3 deliveries. And to think, Yashasvi Jaiswal's 124 is now gone in vain.
That's, by the way, interesting stat for Mumbai. 2 teams have scored a ton against them this season, and both have ended up on the losing side. Kolkata was the other, Venkatesh Iyer.
Yep, that's true, yes. Venkatesh Iyer hit 100 of, I think, 49 deliveries, if I'm not mistaken. And today, Yashasvi hit 100 of 53 balls. Rohit Sharma gets the ultimate birthday present. And Mumbai Indians have won the 1000th game in the IPL by 6 wickets with 3 balls to spare.
Correct.
Suryakumar Yadav, when he first hit that 6 of Ravichandran Ashwin, thought, okay, I think he is in that form. Kuldeep Sen's 20-run over didn't help matters. And it came down to a solid knock by Tilak Verma. Let us not forget what Tilak Verma did. Cameron Green gave the impetus after Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan fell. Tim David.
I think the big difference, by the way, if you look at the 2 teams' knocks, was that with MI, pretty much everyone barring Rohit Sharma chipped in.
Yes.
Okay. In RR, it was the opposite. Barring Yashasvi Jaiswal, no one chipped in.
Yep. That's why I think now, if you look at it, was 212 actually safe. If you look at, because Jaiswal take out at 124, the rest of the players only contributed 88 runs.
No, I'd say that rather I would say anywhere in the world you play, 200 runs is very good a total to be defended regardless of the wicket. If you had your Yorkers on point, if you had your cutters in place, and if you were just smart in terms of your bowling, 200 runs, I think this is what MS also says.
Yeah.
200 runs is always a defendable total.
Yeah, interestingly, both the 200 totals have been chased today.
Yes. 201 that Punjab Kings did at Chepauk. And Mumbai Indians, 214. Man, this is a chase that will revitalize their campaign because remember, Mumbai always in the past have had a late season surge.
They've been the late bloomers, not for the first time. I think 3 seasons one can recall.
Not 3. The first year they won it also 13. They lost 4 or 5 matches on the trot. 5. Yes, and then won 7 on the trot.
About 14.
Oh, that was 14, yeah.
Yeah, but they made it to the playoffs still. Because at the same venue against the same opponents, Aditya Tare hitting that 6.
Yeah.
Array, of course.
Of course. Dravid flinging the cap down in disgust. And Aditya Mohanty, yes, as I said in mid-innings, it was a Tim David show. And indeed, Tim David, and right here, yes.
Miraj rules
also. Yep. But you got the Rohit prediction wrong. I'll come to the Rohit Sharma dismissal later because there is a massive trend on social media that Rohit's dismissal actually was not a dismissal. I'll come to that a bit later. But Gargi, first to you, where did Rajasthan lose it? Barring the final over, which is 2 full tosses being bowled, but prior to that, was Suryakumar's knock the difference? Was Cameron Green's counter-attack the difference? because R. Ashwin 2 for 27 was the most outstanding bowler for Rajasthan Royals today. Yuzi Chahl also bowled well. The Pacers, did they let the team down? No, Yuzi Chahl actually 10.7.
The
Where do you
spinners
think?
actually did well. I mean, Ashwin did well and Sandeep Sharma did well. Everyone else has been incredibly expensive today. And you expect that on a ground like 1 but then you have a defendable total and you need to be able to, if it had been 170, 180, then you would say that, okay, there's enough, the odds are not really in your way and the odds are kind of balanced. But this time, you had everything in hand. You had the whole situation in hand and it was all about, maintaining the pressure and making sure that the opposition did not get that momentum. And they had it when Rohit Sharma got out, and I think Ishan Kishan also went cheaply, right?
Yes, 28 of 23.
Yeah, so that was when they should have taken that pressure forward, but they just leaked too many runs this time.
Because I'll come to you, Shane. You've seen at the top of my mind 3 totals of 200 being chased, okay, in this IPL so far. The LSG RCB game at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. You almost saw Chennai's total at the Chinnaswamy Stadium being chased, almost, by RCB. 2 games today. Similarity is that there weren't any major big scores from the team that were chasing today. Everybody chipped in. In the case of Chennai Super Kings, you could argue that their one bowler, the one bowler that hurt his team the most was Tushar Deshpande. Here, if you look at it, 3.3 none for 55, Jason Holder, and 1 over for 20 by Kuldeep Sen, 4.375 runs. What was the point of making Kuldeep Sen your impact player and giving him just 1 over?
No, I don't know. I understand them giving him only 1 over, but I think the problem was it was flawed thinking in the first place that you shouldn't have actually had him as your sub to begin with, because he's just coming off an injury. I think, in fact, he had gotten injured during the Bangladesh tour.
Yes.
He's just coming back. You're putting him out there on a rather unforgiving circumstance, because I mean, it's not the most bowling friendly conditions at all. It's a bad day when, if you look at Trent Bolt getting hit for over 10 economy. Sandeep Sharma was, by the way, one of the more economical, and he was also at like 8.8. So it's hardly been a good day for the bowlers. But truth be told, it's one thing which I always remember, I think Dhoni saying a lot. One of the things he would say was that in an over, you're going to have a few bad balls. You have to try and land a few good ones as well to kind of balance things out. With this over from Jason Holder, it was a hiding to nothing. He starts with an overpitched one, then follows that up with 2 full tosses. You may as well gift the game on a platter to the team, saying, like, you know what, never mind. We've lost it already, boss. Take the 2 points and go home. And now you're seeing, by the way, a little bit of a wobble on the top of the order, because CSK lost out. Now 2 straight games CSK have lost. RR, yes, they beat CSK and they've had the wood over CSK for a while. But now suddenly out of nowhere, RR have lost. And truth be told, with RR, we always say they're 1 or 2 losses away from looking like a shaky team. When everything fires, they look like world beaters. Then you have today where pretty much nothing except for Yashasvi Jaiswal worked for them. Well, at that and Ashwin's 4. Ashwin was very good, economical, got wickets. But he was the only one. He was waging a lone battle out there. No one else from the bowling chipped in. No one else.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if you look at it, they scored about 62 runs, Rajasthan, in the last 5 overs. It was 62 for 3, if I'm not mistaken. 62 runs, say it was 12 per over. Okay, Yashasvi was going strong, he was doing well. But Harshit, despite Mumbai not having a good start, okay, 3 for 28, what according to you was the turning point in that entire Mumbai chase that it gave them the belief that maybe, yes, it can be chased down? Because see, 101 for 3 at 11, you are still 111 runs behind of just 54 balls. Still a big asking rate. What, according to you, changed the entire complexion of the match? Was it the Surya knock, or was it the green counter attack?
I will say the green counter punch that he landed. You thought that after that amazing start that RR had with the ball, one would have definitely backed RR to go ahead and register a big win. But unfortunately for RR, what happened here was something that we've not seen happen too often in the tournament, which is the entire middle order click for Mumbai. Look at all those batters over there. It started with that counter punch from Cameron Green, who ensured, by the way, that even let's say after the power play, I think they had about 55-60 odd runs.
Yes.
So it was him who ensured that they were always putting pressure on the Rajasthan Royals in terms of just being very, very close or in touching distance of the required run rate. Suryakumar Yadav then just took the momentum forward after Green departed. In came Tilak Verma. He too ensured after those couple of blows that they were well within the chase. And then came Tim David. Yes, when those two wickets were lost, especially that of Suryakumar Yadav, by the way, a sensational effort in the field from Sandeep Sharma.
Catch.
We will talk about that as well. The renaissance of Sandeep Sharma, one can say how he has that wood over Rohit Sharma, which we saw earlier in the day as well. But I think it was that sustained pressure and that complete performance from the Mumbai middle order, which in fact took the game away from RR, which is why I would say it wasn't like horrible bowling or anything from RR. It was, but again, when Suryakumar Yadav bats the way that he batted today, that's exactly what you fear. And you could be the best bowling attack in the world, but you will still end up being on the losing side if Suryakumar Yadav bats the way that he batted today. Tim David, for all the power that he is known, batting at over a 300 strike rate, you will lose all games if somebody like a Tim David bats like that. And so yeah, a complete show being put on by the middle order, and that's where the game went away.
I mean, it also highlights how strong the Mumbai batting lineup has been already, but it just wasn't clicking. And today, now that we see what Mumbai Indians can do, it's a dangerous
Which is why
squad.
I think I remember saying the other day as well, Mumbai on most occasions would love to chase.
Yeah.
Because of the two, batting is their stronger suit. So you give them a total, tell them this is what you need to get in 120 deliveries, and they will back themselves to get there. Given the fact that there is a Suryakumar Yadav who seems to have hit the kind of form that he was in last year. Tim David is coming good. Tilak Verma has been in sublime form. Their opening pair still continues to be a bit of a hiccup or a problem for them. If that gets sorted, you'd wonder what kind of totals this team could chase down.
Which is why now I'm coming to the next question. You know that Suryakumar Yadav plays a very particular shot, right? He does this. Remember, now, is that an indication? Nah, it's okay. It won't.
Look at that. Look at that. Talk about balance.
Equilibrium.
Oh, it had to happen.
It had to be dislodged.
Yeah, you had to
In
jinx
your
it.
words, the law of average had to catch
It had
up.
to catch up soon. So, I'm just saying that if
It's
this
okay, you
kind
can
of
take it
shot,
home. Take it home.
if this kind of shot Suryakumar Yadav is playing, can you suggest that he's back in form? Is that slump over that he had about 1 month back? Or do you think we are still reading too much into it?
No, I think, see, with him, it was never so much down to form. It wasn't like he forgot how to hit the ball, but his confidence took a hit.
Yes.
Let's be frank. But if you see him doing that now, you know that he's kind of overcome that little mental block and he's in good nick. You could see that there. Of course, considering it's an ODI year, I'll try not to read too much into his form because, again, I'm not going to get carried away with what he does in the IPL. He's been an IPL beast for years.
Yep.
And he's proven beyond all doubt that in T20I cricket, he should be the first name on the team sheet.
Yep.
For ODI cricket, though, there's still a few doubts. Although, considering the fact that Shreyas Iyer won't be available for a while, I think he gets some more
becomes the
chances.
front runner.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely becomes the front.
Yeah, but I think he'll need to show better form than what he had been showing in recent games. In ODIs. And again, I'm going to treat them as different formats because the way India play ODI cricket is very different.
Yeah.
And the situations that he walks into are going to be very different as well. Here, the role is very clear. In ODI cricket, you could be asked to bat, when the team's 33 for 3, and that we've seen with India happen at big tournaments far too often of late. Yeah. So if that is a Suryakumar Yadav's best game, which is to play the attacking way, then, he can't really go in with that approach. And that's where I think, he's fallen short, let's say. But also, like I think Shane rightly points out, it's the confidence as well. It reminds me of that, I think, Ashton Agar dismissal, I think in the second ODI, when Australia were just visiting.
Third ODI, I guess.
Third. I think first ball again and again. It was a nothing ball. He just couldn't read it.
It was a nothing ball and a nothing shot.
And a nothing shot. But that was signs of a batter who didn't have confidence.
Yep.
What this does is it restores the confidence in Suryakumar Yadav. Because not that the shot that you mentioned, I also can't get my head around the shot wherein he just sort of, gets away from the stumps, just makes some room and then waits for the ball to get high up on the bat. I think Jason Holder was the bowler and lifts it over his own head behind the keeper for a six.
It's a modified Dil scoop, you can say.
Ramp shot.
Yeah.
It's
like a ramp. It's a modified ramp.
It's a sky ramp, you can say, or his own version of it, a sky ramp. Because you see, it's full 360 degrees. He just goes right behind, but he's upright. He's not doing.
Dilshan would be much closer to the
Dilshan
ground.
was not closer to the
all
ground.
you do is just shuffle across a bit, crouch a bit, and then just hoik it. Rather guide it. He doesn't even hoik it.
Yep. Now,
Sensational stuff.
what about your views on is Suryakumar Yadav?
By the way, since we've touched upon that, and we were just shooting the other videos.
Yeah.
Gargi, ever have you tried to sort of replicate these shots?
Yes.
And
I was very successful at it because I am a short person as compared to taller cricketers. I don't know, but what happens is when you're a batter and you're short, you tend to have an advantage to short balls because
True.
anything a little bit farther away
It's going
from
way above your head.
no. Listen.
Go on.
Anything that is a little bit ahead of good length would come in as a short ball.
True.
And that's why there's a saying that short batters are good at playing short ball deliveries. And because I used to play with boys and under 19 boys, under 23 boys, they were very faster and I could not get myself in a position to quick enough to get a pull. So what I would do is, if it came up to my chest height, I would just short ball. Instead of a much fuller or a low full toss, I would get a short ball to
this was
scoop it
all asked
over
for a
my head.
reason.
Why?
Because we know not to ball you short now.
Oh no.
Remember, there is STBL also coming up after the IPL gets over. So you fell into the trap.
Yep.
Koi baat nahi.
She has got another weakness. Another weakness is leg spin.
Don't worry, when I have enough room, bigger than the studio, I'll hit it out of the park.
Of course. But we are talking about weaknesses.
Yeah.
Today, one Rajasthan Royals weakness was exposed, and that was unfortunately the death bowling backup.
Yeah.
You had 4 bowlers heading into the last 3 overs. Sandeep Sharma, Trent Bolt, Jason Holder, Yuzi Chair. Okay, 4 bowlers. 2 were a given that they were going to bowl. Sandeep Sharma and Trent Bolt.
Yeah.
The other was Jason Holder, who unfortunately, even in the past, you look at it from 15 onwards till 2022, or even now 2023, he has not been a consistent death overs bowler. Why is that? In the pursuit of the Yorker, he has always missed it and he's delivered full tosses. Just ask A.B. de Villiers. In 2015, in the space of 4 months against the West Indies, who did he target the most? Jason Holder. Now, as your death bowler, now you've seen in the past also he's lacked confidence. Even today, he tried the Yorker. I'm sure he didn't just deliver it on a buffet just like that. He tried the Yorker because of the dew. Remember, at the Wankhede, there was excessive dew today.
Yeah, I mean the dew was kicking in the first innings itself because you saw the bowlers kind of use the towels. So not easy, but yeah,
Why are we not giving Yuzi Chahal his due when it comes to death overs bowling? Because 17, 18, 19, when the Kulcha duo were operating at their peak, Yuzi Chahal used to bowl in the death overs. And KKR should know it better. In the chase of 230 in 2022, if I am not mistaken, Yuzi Chahal bowled in the death, got a hat-trick and ensured that the chase was finished. 5 wickets, a hat-trick, bowling in the death.
I think today they would have not used him because of the dew factor. Second was that in his 3 overs he had already gone for over 30 runs. And also thirdly, since we're talking about death, another option who they've tended to use in the death, particularly last year after he made his debut, was Kuldeep Sen. Today, though, they didn't have that option because in his 1 over, he got tongued for 20 runs.
20 runs.
So that was ruled out. I don't think they wanted to go with Holder because even his confidence would be told. He didn't look confident going up to bowl that over, being very frank.
And the problem with Kuldeep Sen, I'll tell you, we all got very excited when he defended against Lucknow Super Giants. Remember, Marcus Stoinis?
Yeah.
But remember, Kuldeep Sen had gone for close to 48 runs in his 4 overs.
Yeah, we were very surprised when they picked him to bowl that death over because, like, what? This guy has gone for these many runs.
He conceded a couple of sixes, but he still held his nerve because Marcus Stoinis buckled under pressure in that particular match. Kuldeep Sen doesn't inspire me that much confidence when it comes to death bowling. And as Shane pointed out, he's coming back after an injury.
Yeah.
So definitely he'll be lacking rhythm. Definitely he'll be rusty. But then you could have gone with your most experienced bowler, that was Yuzi Chen.
Or you could have finished Yuzi's fourth
Quota
over.
earlier.
Yes, you had middle overs.
Or what you could have done is bowled Holder earlier, either given Bolt or Sandeep the 19th or the 20th over. Vice versa.
Sandeep, to be fair, they did give the 19th over, and I think he did a decent job.
He gave away 15. Bolt, he could have defended 17.
Yeah.
He has done it in the past. But unfortunately, what I think, again, Sanju Samson's mentality was that, okay, try getting past my 2 best bowlers and see if you can score 17. Unfortunately, that happened.
Yeah.
Because his 2 best bowlers bowled out, Bolt and Sandeep. Sandeep conceded only 15. He had excellent figures of 3 overs, 1 for 20. Plus that catch. I think one of the catches of the tournament.
Yeah, very good catch. Yeah, running
back, taking. But unfortunately, Tim David and Tilak Verma, this was where Tilak Verma's role is crucial because Tilak was handling the pressure much better. And that allowed Tim David to say, okay, I'll go for it. Because Tilak was solid at one end. And this is where I think Mumbai Indians have found a real gem in Tilak Verma. Yeah. Because he held the batting together. He was the one-man army for Mumbai Indians last year. Today, he's shown that IPL experience. And Tim David
today he was very mature, I should say. Very mature. He took risks. But again, look at his strike rate. He wasn't, because he had somebody like a Tim David and he was looking at giving him the maximum strike as well. After he missed those couple of cutters, I'm forgetting who the bowler was then, but after he missed a couple of those hoiks, he did try to give the strike to Tim David, who was striking the ball much better, and then of course, then managed to get the winning runs as well for Mumbai.
Yep. That's what Mirage Rules is saying. When MI wins, it creates havoc. Beware rest of teams. Indeed. If Mumbai Indians are in that zone, no team is safe.
It begs the question if we do think if something special is cooking in Mumbai.
Well, it won't be surprising. It won't be. Because Mumbai have often risen from the dead to ensure that they can win the title. I mean, look at 15, look at 17. They had lost all 3 games prior to the rising Pune Supergiant. But what did they do in the final? Defended 130.
Yeah.
A Mitchell Johnson masterclass, remember, defending incidentally, if we may have to say, 13 or 15 runs in the final over. That is Mumbai Indians. They never give up.
Yeah, the never say die attitude. It's there in the, like we were saying yesterday as well, it's in the DNA
legacy
of the side.
It is the reflection of the city, the Khadus mentality of that city, because Khadus, as Gargi will know, that she's been in Mumbai, you may have seen, it's that mongrel kind of cricket. Never give up, scrap it out until the last ball is bowled. We are not going to lie down, try whatever you might.
Mumbai people are hustlers.
Exactly. It reflects. Look at the Maidans. I mean, a clash between Rizvi and Shardashram will be as competitive as an international game.
Yeah.
With sledging, with all these kind of things. School cricket in Mumbai is at a next level altogether. And Shivaji Maidan and Azad Maidan, you look at the matches that happen, coaches are like, what the hell are you doing? It's
By
that
the way,
intense.
look at the table, how interesting it looks now. Mumbai, having played 1 game less, are there at the 7th spot, but they know what 1 game can do. No, not 7th. Yes, the 7th right now. But with 1 game in hand, they could very well be 2nd or 3rd. Look at, let's say, Rajasthan and Chennai, who both played 9 games, are there in the top 4. But if Mumbai win that 1 game, they very well join them as well.
And you know who will upset the entire apple cart tomorrow? RCB.
Yes.
If they win against Lucknow Super Giants,
I back this opinion 100%.
you are not there. Okay,
So
tomorrow.
what doesn't mean what does
For
my
two
game have
games,
to do
for
with
two
that?
major games, an RCB fan has not been there.
But I was watching at home.
No. Leave all that aside. Who makes the shifts?
Huh? I have to make the
Shifts.
Yeah. I asked her whether she can extend. She said no. She said no.
No.
Her fault. Yes, because RCB are facing Lucknow Super
Oh,
Giants,
look at
and
that.
if RCB win
No,
1,
no,
2,
no.
3, 4, 5,
Shivam, are you in tomorrow? Yeah. Shivam's in. Shivam's in.
5
to cheer for
teams
his
on
team.
10 points. 5 teams. That can throw the entire table alright. But that is for tomorrow.
You know, the first three, the top three teams are exactly what I had in my prediction before the IPL. I just need Chennai Super Kings to swap with RCB, and then my top four are set.
Can happen. Can happen. Because in the space of 1 week from number 4, they can slide to number 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can happen.
Will happen.
But again, I think they can be fifth because they have a very positive NRR. At least full credit to them for that. So 0.329 because they didn't lose by a big margin today. But RR's net run rate has dipped from 0.98. It's now come down to 0.8.
The good thing is it's still positive if you're looking at it. But the bad thing is that with RR also, no, they tend to be susceptible to a slump or two.
Yeah.
You saw it last year also. It was wobbly. Towards the middle parts of the season, it became wobbly. In fact, I still maintain that Lucknow Super Giants. I will again keep going over that. I'm not going down that route again.
No,
Evan
Evan
Lewis.
Lewis.
Oh yeah,
There
the
won't be
2022 encounter. 2022.
I'm not going down that one catch. That one catch. If it had to be,
Lewis.
could have been my team bottling it, but no, KL Rahul's team has to bottle it.
Yeah.
हाँ रिंकू वही पागल हो गया था in that one particular match and that one blinder of a catch. But see, that's how close things get when it comes to the IPL making it to the top 4. And with RR even last year, none of us gave them a chance of making it to the final. You know why? Because they had no top order.
They had no top
Butler had kind of petered off.
After those 500?
Yeah, and Sanju always peters off. If it were not for Yashasvi Jaiswal's striking form and RCB being RCB in the qualifier too, it could have been a very different thing. Because I remember a lot of people had backed RCB to do well because they absolutely trounced LSG in the eliminator. They did.
24 runs.
24 runs in this thing.
24 runs.
Yeah, but that was down to LSG bottling it as much as it was to
Yeah,
RCB playing well. I remember Hazelwood bowled very well. But
Hazelwood-
LSG bottled it.
Yeah.
LSG bottled it.
Yep.
So when it came down to that, most people were backing RCB to make it to the final. Then, of course, Yashasvi turns up the heat. But that's the thing with RR. Last year also, they went through a similar encounter. CSK, as you've said, are susceptible to a
It is a
collapse,
slump.
a mini slump or two. So right now, really, there's not much certainty. I think GT are the one team who are sorted. And dare I say LSG, you know why? Because LSG, the one problem that was ailing them, they've sorted. The middle order.
They're back.
The middle order or the muddle order is no longer a muddle order. They've kind of figured out where to bat who. And so they seem to be doing much better as a result.
Yep.
And mind you, all of this without having, their bowling has also been good. And that's without having Mark Wood.
Yes. That is the way it is. But now I'll focus. Okay, CSK fan in me singing. What is the? Can you anybody read that?
कभी हंसना है कभी रोना है जीवन सुख दुख का संगम है कभी
Patjhad.
पतझड़ है कभी सावन है ये आता जाता मौसम है basically
Which song is it?
no I don't know which song it is but what he's saying is look things happen so what do you do
Of course. I mean, I had predicted that CSK will have a mid-season slump, and they are having it. So, Hariharan Vishwanathan is like saying RR needed Zampa for holder. Glad MI dropped Arjun.
I don't think Zampa would have made much difference here considering the amount
also
of
the
view
small boundaries as well, plus the dew.
Yep.
So wouldn't have been wise to have Zampa.
Yep. Ajit Giri. Yes, this is what I want to focus upon. Was Rohit Sharma's wicket fair? Sanju's gloves were involved. If you look closely at the footage, very closely, without any bias, without anything, what happened was that it was a cutter, slow cutter that Sandeep had bowled, leg cutter.
Sure.
What happened was he collected the ball, the bail on this side, that lit up. But then this fell down. When he collected it and tried to take it up, it brushed the bails and it fell down.
I mean I think it would have been a bigger talking point if MI had somehow lost the match
Somehow, I think, the umpiring has to be criticized big time today. Big time, because obvious wides were not been signalled obvious non-wides were been signalled.
And an obvious waist
And
high
obvious
no ball.
waist high no ball was not
Waist
given.
high no ball.
Despite a review.
Despite a review.
I
Look-
think even the trajectory was above his weight.
You know, now in fact you question that dismissal. Because had
Yashasvi.
Yashasvi been there for another couple of balls,
220.
225.
the kind of exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And let's forget all the decisions, okay, in the haste, in all the pressure, in all the situation, it does happen, okay. But even then, we have given far too long a rope to the umpires, because now on an international stage, Indian umpiring unfortunately will live up to more scrutiny. Look at the
Already you
time.
don't have a great reputation, truth be told, in the international arena as far as the umpiring goes.
There's just one Indian umpire in the elite.
Anil Chaudhary?
No.
No, Nitin.
Oh,
Nitin Menon
Menon.
in the elite umpiring panel of the ICC. So it's not doing
Because
well.
the
either.
major criticism is on the time.
Yeah.
I just had to address something there. A lot of people in the comments saying Sports Today looks sad. I don't care if Mumbai win or not. I'm sad because it's 12:20 and we're nowhere near close to being done with our live show. We started the live show at like 11:50. I mean, I'm sorry, but those are terrible over rates you're maintaining.
Okay, what time did the match start barring the function?
7:30.
7:35.
No, even
Yeah, it was just 2-3 minutes of delay. I think
So
the match.
7:35.
That's it.
Even with the benefit of doubt of that, 7:35 to 11:50, 4 hours and 15 minutes to complete 40 overs.
terrible.
The over rates have been appalling, and the fines that are in place are a joke.
Yeah.
If today they want any field restrictions
So it came in towards the end.
Towards the end.
for the first innings, were
For
there?
Rajasthan Royals it came, but why didn't it come for the Mumbai Indians?
Exactly.
Why is it that okay, but the argument in that is, one of the balls that Yashasvi Jaiswal hit went out of the stadium, so to get that took a lot more time. Fine.
Come on.
Lot of reviews were taken. Remember the no ball? That no ball itself took 5 minutes to
Yeah.
review. The wides took time. This is where the IPL GC has to wake up and say, scrap the review for.
No, but
No, scrap the review for wide
Why
and
didn't
no
see?
ball.
But that's an argument for another day. I feel why, because again, when you didn't have the technology, you're like deploy the technology. When it's there, have the technology. Now the trade-off is, are you in a hurry to finish the game off, or you rather have the delay but have the game finish or end in a fair and square manner?
I agree with you in that regard, but I'll tell you something. No one was clamoring for reviews for wides and no balls.
It is. So when you look back, let's say when games are decided on fine margins, let's say very fine margins, again we are talking about that waist high no ball because now we have the technology to reverse it. If we didn't have it, then we would have been like, okay, why can't you freeze the frame and ask for a referral for this? And now in hindsight, if let's say this wasn't there, RR very well could have been that team. They're like, why? Because that made a difference to us. We had a batter batting at 124, 125. If we were able to turn this around, if we had the technology, we would have been looking at another 10 runs or so.
Yeah, and in addition to everything, the no balls, the wides, and all of those reviews, I have noticed that the umpires are reviewing every little run out. I mean, even if there's a huge gap between it, they are going to review it because I get it. You want to be accurate with your decisions, but it does take up a lot of time.
It does take a lot. No, and if you're talking about technology, India said that we didn't want the technology because we don't believe in it. It has to be 100%. Which manual, which historical
That was for
DRS.
The DRS when it was first introduced.
But it was an irrational argument.
That was.
How can technology be 100%? I mean, you have to give a 0.1 or a 1% here or there for any kind of glitches. 2011 World Cup, when the DRS was on India's side, they didn't raise a complaint. Suddenly, hotspot, there was an even bigger concern because there were some issues like the infrared camera. Suppose if the sun came, it was at a particular angle, then you couldn't detect the edge. Friction. If there was a very thin edge, it didn't generate that spot. You had some.
With DRS, the argument still very much remains. It's just that we've forgotten what happened in the South Africa series, wherein there were questions raised over whether cameras was placed, whether broadcaster, and whether frames were being freezed.
But that was direct. I mean, if you have to look at it, okay, one thing that tantamount to accusing them of brinksmanship or sportsmanship.
Well, our players did that. Our players did that.
That is why the ICC did not come down hard on them. They had to come down hard. For far too long, there have been so many decisions. I mean, if Virat had that outburst, South Africa did not raise that issue up.
Ashwin did.
Yeah, they should have been banned.
Yeah.
They should have been banned because you are accusing a host country of manipulation.
Yeah.
And you have no credible proof. That is a very, very wrong thing that the Indian cricket team did. And they got paid back in kind. They lost the series 2-1. They were whitewashed 3-0.
Yeah.
Because you were too distracted and you were too desperate. And that is the reason why technology now, there is an overkill. The umpires are just being reduced to, I think we are not sure, let us review. If there is technology, supposing he's made a decision, oh no, let us check, I think there's some, you rewind the tape, you start losing confidence. Umpires are losing confidence.
This opens up another debate or thought. It sort of brings in another thought as to what is our threshold for human error in the game. How the umpires are very much empowered right now. It is well within their rights to either go for the third umpire, but these umpires, let's say, to be fair to the umpires as well, the kind of flack that they get and the kind of abuse that they get when the decision isn't right on their part, given the technology and everything, they're also subjected to a lot of hate. Let's acknowledge that as well, since we sympathize with our players that much.
Yeah.
So the focus is on umpires also just as much. The bigger debate over here or thought that needs to be deliberated upon here is what is that threshold of human error that you're willing to have in the game?
Simple answer for that, there is no specific threshold. This is the problem. Now, this excess of technology, and I'll again see, you wanted technology, right? I am not aware whether Karthik K is raising that only. Why wasn't a side-on replay shown? Why? Smart usage of technology is the most important thing. In the side, you could have seen, there could have been conclusive evidence, right? Sanju, either he did that. Let me just give a disclaimer from all of us here. We are not accusing anybody of anything. It's just that the dismissal looked dodgy and it was not handled in the right way. This is a howler, if you look at it. But was technology used? No.
So when there was no surety or a lack of surety, then the technology wasn't used. But I've seen countless occasions this season only where a batsman has crossed the line, he's past the crease, he's run past the stumps, he's out of the camera frame. At that point, the ball will hit. And the umpire's like, let's go upstairs. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's
Come on.
That's what I said now.
Yeah.
They're reviewing the runouts and all of that, even for the littlest things.
Smallest of margins this was something that could have so easily been checked. Even because I remember when it happened, I'm like, he's out. And Rohit just walked. I'm thinking that looked a bit dodgy. And then you see the replays and you're like, ooh, it was dodgy. So see, this is where technology should be used, because again, if it seems not right, and I'm saying this as a lay person who's watching it on television, on TV, where I'm not that close to the action, as the umpire, surely even you'd be thinking, maybe that didn't seem right, why not go up and check? If you can check for when, as I say, a batsman is run past and out of the frame and check for a run out, this should have been checked.
It was a big problem, and that's where checking all these wides and no balls, it's resulted in excess time. 4 hours and 15 minutes.
I think they don't care about they don't care about this overheads at this point. It's pretty evident.
So, okay, Shubham Garg is saying, so DRS has a 50% error percentage in case of umpire's call. As an ML engineer, I can say on difficult track, data is not enough to give correct prediction, which is why, Shubham, the umpire's call came. The umpire's call was that because the projection and everything else is based upon an equation. An equation sometimes can change. It can also result in some kind of error also in certain circumstances. That's why the umpire's call is there.
To give the umpires over there some credibility as well for their job that they're doing. They are also trained professionals at the end of the day.
Yep. But my other argument was that, okay, maybe if it was umpire's call, it's hitting, then any kind of hitting is out. Any kind of hitting. But because I then realized the intricacies of the technology is such, that you had to have an umpire's call because you try each and every way. You even get the greatest Pulitzer or you may say Nobel Peace Prize scientists and journalists on the panel. You cannot create a 100% perfect DRS. It's not possible. Such is the nature of the technology that is there. Computers, are they all 100% foolproof? No, that's the problem. So Ghanshyam Yadav, okay, yes, you're very right in expressing your disappointment, but is 36 a milestone?
Is he a retired player?
Is he a retired player? If he's 50, I can understand that a special this thing can be done. If he's turned 75, if he's turned 100, then yes, I can very well. 25 years in Indian cricket, yes, I then believe that something special.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong. Did we do anything when Kohli turned whatever age he turned last year? I don't think we
He
did.
will turn 35.
Yeah, I'm talking about last year. Did we do anything?
He was 34.
Yeah, but I don't remember putting in a this thing. And Gargi is disappointed, as we admit in front of her. But
Should I predicted something?
you want to predict something? That is?
रोहित ने अपने 2014 के वनडे मैच में 1 रन बनाया था 5 बॉल में, फिर अगले
Yes.
2 रन बनाए 5 बॉल में, आज
तीन।
3 रन बनाए 5 बॉल में, नेक्स्ट आज 4 बनाएगा।
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The entire sequence.
The entire gambit he'll get. Yeah?
He'll get the entire gambit. So.
No, but Ghanshyam, sir, if I can tell you something, yes, of course, you do sympathize with us as well. We've been here for the last 12 hours trying to cater to all the demands that you guys may have from us. But there was something that we did run on Rohit Sharma on the occasion of his birthday and on the occasion of the 1000 match. Though it ran on television. So in case you've been following us on television as well, we did put out a special something for Rohit Sharma on television. So to the best of our abilities, we did try to put something out and we do this sports show once every weekend. So Sundays 6:30, you can always tune into India Today. Watch that sports show. We have a special segment as well, which runs on a daily basis, just around the 6:30 mark. So do keep tabs on that as well, because there's plenty of stuff that we put out at these times as well.
6:30. Yep, that
Any
is.
more supers?
Any more super chats? No other anything? Yes.
There'll be something.
Some comments, let's hit.
Yeah, and Piyush
non-supers.
Piyush Nandre is like saying in all this chaos, you're forgetting about Piyush Chawla. He's proving to be a surprise trump card from
Yeah,
Mumbai
PC's had a bit of a renaissance this year out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think last 2-3 years, I think he was playing for CSK. Barely got a game for them. This year, though, he's played pretty much every game. It's been really, really good.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, Hardeep Singh's pointing out when ball didn't hit Tilak Verma's bat or pad, still umpire was asking for ball tracking.
I don't know that.
Yes, Hardeep Singh, you are absolutely. If you have to highlight what was the low point in the umpiring, that was it.
It reminds me of, I don't know who was it Mustafizur or someone?
Mushfiqur Rahim.
Mushfiqur Rahim, yeah. I think he played a forward defense. It hit his bat and
Yes. Yes, Hardeep Singh, you are absolutely right. That was where it happened.
Arey chodo na, kya everything we don't have to answer.
Okay, so two double headers today, both teams scoring 200, but they failed to win. The teams that are chasing now have struck back with a vengeance.
Yeah, but also, by the way, both on very good batting tracks.
Yeah.
Because I think all of us misread that CSK, Turner, that didn't turn anything. Kuch nahi. There was no turn whatsoever.
Kuch nahi.
It was a proper Pata wicket. In fact, it's the most Pata wicket I've seen in Chepauk in years.
That happened in the first Chepauk game as well. When MS Dhoni said in the post-match interview.
I think yes, one thing that's gone against Chennai's plans, I think the game that Gargi is pointing out, because the first couple of games they're like, is this actually the surface that suits CSK? Because that wasn't the case, especially the first match, and even today it doesn't suit the kind of bowling attack that CSK has.
Because if you remember, even in 22 or 21, you were playing some games in the Chennai bio bubble. That time the wickets were very slow.
Yeah.
It was turning. 140, 145, isn't it?
And if you looked at the visuals today when we were doing the pre-show and we were talking about, it's such a dry wicket, it's going to break and spinners are going to come in and it's going to be a spinner show. What happened?
Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Which is why we are YouTubers. Yeah, you can say anything.
The Chepauk guys bowled us a googly.
Yeah.
We're like,
The Chepauk.
jayega idhar?
It's not a true Chennai wicket. It's not that old Chennai wicket anymore. And that has taken every team by surprise. And that's why you see there's no home dominance. I think all the entire nature of all the pitches that Mumbai, Bangalore,
Kolkata.
Kolkata.
What happened? What has been the reason why for years you've not had Kolkata win a title? I firmly believe one of the reasons is because post 2015, the nature of the pitch changed entirely. I remember the title winning teams, you'd have sometimes 4 spinners playing. And Rajat Bhatia.
Oh yeah.
Who was like a 5th spinner because he'd bowl 105 kilometers per hour and bowl them as cutters. And cutters, that's the point. 105 kmph cutters. What sort of bowling is that? No one could get him away.
Deadly and very underrated.
Yeah. Tremendously underrated as a bowler for KKR in the middle overs. Always that guy. Power play done. Rajat. He'd come. Why? But the pitches became sporting wickets.
Yeah.
What is the point of a sporting wicket? You have 4 spinners in your team. Who were the 4 spinners, by the way? You had a Narayan. You had a Piyush Chawla. You had Shakib. Then you'd have a domestic young spinner also somewhere the other playing. Iqbal Abdullah. You had a lot of spinners, boss.
12 and 14, I think it was Abdullah.
Yeah, correct. You had spinners. In fact, in 14, you're forgetting another one. Suchitra Sananayake. Another mystery spinner. KKR has a love for them.
Yeah.
So you had so many spinners. And then you're like, sporting wicket. Obviously, your home advantage is gone.
Yes, even Hyderabad, they also lost because they are also not winning at home. Mohali are not winning at home.
Yeah, but see, to be fair, Punjab, see, which are the grounds which haven't really been fortresses? Punjab, always been sporting. Bangalore, always been sporting. Delhi's never been sporting. I mean, come on. Delhi is not a fortress because they're a terrible team.
Yeah.
True, actually.
Delhi's not done well in any kind of condition, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Bangalore, again, I think they don't have the bowling or it doesn't play to their strength.
No, they're also, you can't call it a sporting.
It's sporting for the batsmen.
See, when the nature of the wicket is that evident, how is it sporting anyway?
It's not sporting. When I say sporting, I mean what you call quick tracks. Oh, sorry, my bad. I just did a Rahul. So no, when the spice is sporting, I mean like pitches which don't overly favor the bowlers. Bangalore, I never recall it ever favoring in IPL era.
2014.
IPL era,
Except for 2014. That was the time when Yajvendra Chahal dominated.
right.
And
But that could have been single-handedly Yuzvendra's
Like it would have been UC
brilliance.
dominance.
Yeah. I think it was him.
The spinners dominate because they had to change the entire outfield. It was relayed and all for the subsurface aeration system.
Correct.
To improve the drainage facility in Chinnaswamy. So great Sunday, 200 scored on all 4 innings in a day. Nitish, which by the way, it has happened in the IPL for the first time in history.
Yeah.
In the 1000th game of the IPL and prior to that 999. First time in the history of IPL that 4 200 plus totals have been recorded on a single day.
And chased down.
Yes.
By
Happy
teams you
to
didn't
go.
expect to.
Yeah.
Happy to go to office tomorrow. Yes. Hope you guys enjoyed
we all?
the weather today. Aren't? Yeah. My prediction, GT again. I don't doubt you because I think they are looking the favorites this time also. So
Let's just take a couple of comments. Let's see. DJ says RR can replace Holder with Obed McCoy. No, because Obed McCoy doesn't bat.
yeah,
Obed McCoy is a pure bowler, so he's legit your Trent Bolt replacement.
yeah,
Although he did play a few games for them last year.
he did. He helped you defend that total against KKR. in
Yeah,
the final.
don't remind me.
Exactly. Piyush Nandre's impact rule is boring, just hyped before season, but nothing exciting about it after half season. It should be scrapped along with wide no ball rule. No need to disturb the original game.
Impact rule, I think, is a debate for another time because truth be told, even I've been underwhelmed by it, and I think the main reason I've been underwhelmed by it is because of that whole batting 11, bowling 11 thing.
Yeah.
Either
that it didn't bring about the kind of excitement
because
that
of the batting 11,
governing
bowling,
council-
because of the batting 11, bowling 11 thing.
What is this new dimension that the governing council thought this would introduce to the game? I don't know. I don't see any added dimension. over here.
You would have had if you had a settled playing 11. So say for instance, the 11s you're saying today, yes, there's only one team, then suddenly the impact rule right now has rendered bits and piece all-rounders obsolete.
Yeah.
But if the rule was there without this whole batting bowling 11 thing, no, bits and pieces all-rounders become more important. Because then suddenly you'd want to take the risk and say, yeah, we can sub out a bowler and bring on someone who will give you 2 overs but deepens the batting. Then it's interesting. Like this is just boring. Oh, batting 11, bowling 11.
What should have been the ideal ideal case before we wrap it up. The ideal case should have been,
I like
okay,
how he specifies that we'll wrap it up.
do not, what should have happened is an ideal world. I know it's a bit revolutionary, but in the toss.
Revolutionary?
Bit. I'll say why. Because if you want to make the toss exciting, okay, don't reveal your 22-yard playing strip 1 day or 2 days before the toss. After the toss happens, then reveal what is the nature of the pitch. Don't reveal who your impact subs are. You want the surprise element, right? Teams will be wondering, okay, how can we think? How can we do? Don't reveal your impact subs, who they are.
But yeah, in franchise cricket, I'm not too sure. Even let's say in bilaterals, how do you do that, yeah? If you're hosting the series,
Which is
do you
why-
really think the home side will not get to know?
No, which is why the super sub rule fell flat.
And it's why the impact rule sub will fall flat too. Let me put it this way: when in sports which use a substitution, team sports use a substitution. Basketball has a rolling sub.
Yep.
Football now you have 5 substitutions. But you know what makes it exciting is that you're not just making like for like swaps. In football, what happens often is that if you're 2-1 down, 10 minutes on the clock,
making tactical
you'll take off a defender and put on an attacker, knowing full well you could go 3-1 down, but knowing full well that if that attack works for 10 minutes, you can have an onslaught. And that 2-1 can become 2-2 or very well even 3-2 in your favor. Here you don't have that. Here it's like, straight swap. I'll swap out a batsman for a bowler because my playing 11 is my batting 11. I'm batting first.
Which is why the tactic here is don't name your super subs. Which is throw you into current of, okay, what should I do?
And see, truth be told, they're not naming their super sub, they're just naming their 5. But tell me honestly, which team has given us a conundrum as far as the super sub is concerned? We are able to call it before the match who the super sub will be.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where the novelty is gone. You shouldn't give a list wherein, okay, I know who my 5 subs are.
You know who the 5 subs are is one thing, but that's where it comes back to the batting 11, bowling 11. If you have one playing 11, then suddenly out of nowhere, you can take the risk. You can say, okay, today we've batted really well. I won't need this one bowler, Rosan batsman. I'll remove the lower order bat and bring in a bowler. That's the tactical element here. So it's like plain easy swap up. There's no tactic. It's just a
And
ploy
also
to bring in a 12th player.
Now, when you're into the second leg of the tournament and you'll be playing some of the teams for the second time now, and you've seen how the others have fared against different oppositions, why now your tactics are all out in the open.
Yes.
You suddenly in the business end of the tournament will not be doing something which you haven't done now.
Exactly. So that's a debate for some other day. But yes, today it's been Super Sunday indeed. And in the sporting world also, we've had some very, very exciting events. For example, Dinglish became the world chess champion, second from Asia. Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy, Chirag Shetty, congratulations to them. 58 years later, they won the Badminton Asia Championship gold. And on top of that, today Manchester City have now become on top of the Premier League.
They are top of the Premier League with a 2-1 win and 1 point lead.
And
plus a
Liverpool
game
got
in
out
hand.
of jail when you were doing the F1 debate. Liverpool were 2-3 down. They made it 3-3 and then in the 94th minute made it 4-3.
Jota with
Jota
the winner
with the goal and
at the Cup.
Yep, and F1 you saw Sergio Perez win and Max Verstappen second, 1-2 for them, and Charles Leclerc.
It's a nice little debate we did.
Yep.
Please go ahead, check that out if you feel like, going to office late tomorrow.
Yes.
We have to come in late anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yep, so tomorrow
She
it's...
doesn't even have to come in.
Yeah, she doesn't have to come in also.
Yeah,
Yep.
but that doesn't mean we leave any late now. So bye bye.
Yep, tomorrow it's Lucknow Super Giants versus Royal Challengers Bangalore at the Ekana Stadium. Revenge for RCB loading, but can Lucknow...
Continue the winning race.
Yep, so join us for that. It's been a long day, but it's been a action-packed day indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you from all of us here, Gargi, Shane, Harshit and me. Nandri, good night.
Good night.